What if the only thing standing between you and millions of dollars is not your education, your effort, or your opportunities, but the way your subconscious mind was programmed about money before you turned 10? Harv Eker, a self-made multimillionaire who went from struggling entrepreneur to selling half his company for $1.6 million, argues in Secrets of the Millionaire Mind that your financial success or failure is determined not by your knowledge, skills, strategies, or luck, but by your subconscious, money blueprint. Eker opens with his own story. Throughout his 20s, every business he started failed. He was broke, tired, and frustrated. A wealthy friend of his father told him that rich people think in fundamentally similar ways, and that by copying those thought patterns, anyone could become rich. Eker threw himself into studying the psychology of money, realizing that his own thinking had been sabotaging him. He then opened one of the first retail fitness stores in North America with just $2,000 on a credit card, applied his new mental strategies, grew the business to 10 stores in 2.5 years, and sold half the company for $1.6 million. Later, while teaching business strategies, he noticed that people learning identical strategies produced wildly different results. Some became millionaires, others stayed broke. That's when he understood that mindset, not strategy, is the real differentiator. The core promise of the book is staggering. Give me 5 minutes, and I can predict your financial future for the rest of your life. Eker makes this claim because he believes that your subconscious, money and success blueprint, the internal script you absorbed from childhood, dictates every financial decision you will ever make, from how much you earn to how much you save, spend, invest, and give away. You can know everything about marketing, sales, negotiations, stocks, real estate, and finance, but if your money blueprint is not set for a high level of success, you will never have a lot of money, and if somehow you do, you will most likely lose it. The good news is that you can reset your money blueprint. The book is divided into 2 parts. Part 1 explains how your money blueprint works and how to change it. Part 2 outlines 17 contrasting wealth files that distinguish how rich people think and act from how poor and middle-class people do. Eker uses the metaphor of a tree to illustrate his core idea. The visible results in your life, your income, savings, investments, and net worth, are like the fruit on a tree. The fruit grows from the roots, which are invisible. If you want to change the fruit, you have to change the roots. Most people try to change their financial results by focusing on external actions, working harder, finding a better job, cutting expenses, or chasing the next hot investment. But that's like trying to fix a typo on a printed page without correcting the computer file. The physical world is merely a printout of the mental, emotional, and spiritual worlds. Eker introduces the process of manifestation. Programming: right-pointing arrow thoughts, right-pointing arrow feelings, right-pointing arrow actions, right-pointing arrow results. Your childhood programming creates your automatic thoughts about money. Those thoughts generate feelings: fear, joy, anxiety, excitement. Those feelings drive your actions, or inactions. And those actions produce your results: wealth, poverty, or somewhere in between. If you want different results, you must change the programming at the source. So how is your money blueprint formed? Eker identifies 3 forms of childhood conditioning. The first is verbal programming, the phrases you heard repeatedly growing up, from parents, teachers, relatives, or friends. Phrases like, money is the root of all evil, we can't afford it, rich people are greedy, money doesn't grow on trees, you have to work hard for money, save for a rainy day, I'll never be rich, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. These phrases lodge in your subconscious and govern your financial behavior like a hidden autopilot. Eker shares the story of Stephen, a seminar participant who earned over $800,000 a year for 9 years yet remained completely broke. Why? Because his mother had repeatedly told him that rich people are greedy. Stephen's subconscious equated wealth with losing his mother's approval, so every time he earned money, he found ways to shed it: bad investments, expensive purchases, or simply giving it away. After attending the seminar, Stephen identified this programming, changed his blueprint, and became a millionaire within 2 years. The second conditioning influence is modeling. You tend to replicate or rebel against your parents' financial behavior. Eker tells how his own father was an entrepreneur in the home building business who cycled between heavy debt and abundance. He would make a lot of money, then lose it all, then make it back again. Without realizing it, Eker unconsciously replicated this boom and bust pattern for nearly a decade, making money then losing it, until he recognized the connection and broke the cycle. The third influence is specific incidents, a powerful emotional event that links money with pain or fear. Eker recounts the story of Josie, an operating room nurse who earned a good salary but spent every dollar she made, living paycheck to paycheck. During a seminar, she remembered that as an 11-year-old, she had watched her father die of a heart attack during a violent argument about money. Her young mind instantly linked money with pain, danger, and death. From that moment on, her subconscious made sure she never had any money, because having money, in her mind, meant risking that same tragedy. Once she became aware of this link, she was able to dissociate from it, reprogram her blueprint, and turn her finances around. Once you become aware of your conditioning, Eker provides a 4-step method to change your blueprint. First, awareness. Recognize the pattern. You cannot change what you do not see. Write down every limiting belief you heard about money as a child. Second, understanding. Understand where the pattern came from. This removes its power over you because you realize it's not the truth, it's just a story you learned. Third, dissociation. Consciously decide that this old belief is no longer serving you. Separate yourself from it. Say to yourself, that was my mother's belief, not mine. I choose to let it go. Fourth, reprogramming. Actively install new, empowering beliefs through declarations, affirmations, and consistent action. This brings us to part 2 of the book, The 17 Wealth Files, the exact ways rich people think and act differently from poor and middle-class people. These are not theoretical concepts. Each wealth file includes specific action steps and declarations to practice in the real world. Eker emphasizes that you must not just read these files, you must embody them. Wealth file number 1. Rich people believe, I create my life. Poor people believe, life happens to me. This is the foundational file. Poor people blame the economy, the government, their boss, their spouse, their parents, the stock market, bad luck, or the weather. Rich people understand that they are 100% responsible for their financial situation. As long as you blame anyone or anything else, you are powerless to change. The moment you take full responsibility, you gain the power to create a different result. Declaration. I create my life. I am the architect of my financial destiny. Wealth file number 2. Rich people play the money game to win. Poor people play the money game to not lose. Poor people focus on survival and security. I just want to pay my bills. I want to be comfortable. I don't want to take risks. Rich people focus on abundance and freedom. I want to build real wealth. I want to be financially free. I want to live a life of total expression. The goal of playing not to lose ensures you will never lose much, but you will also never win big. Rich people set wealth targets that excite them, not just survival goals. Wealth file number 3. Rich people are committed to being rich. Poor people want to be rich. This is a distinction between a casual wish and a true commitment. Wanting means, I'd like it if it's easy, if it's convenient, if no one criticizes me. Commitment means, I will do whatever it takes, for as long as it takes, with no excuses, no backup plans, no escape routes. Most people have a backup plan, and that's exactly where they end up. Rich people burn the boats, they commit completely. Wealth file number 4. Rich people think big. Poor people think small. The size of your thinking determines the size of your results. Poor people play small because they are afraid of failure, afraid of criticism, or simply because they don't believe they deserve a big life. Rich people understand that they are here to contribute. The more people you help, the richer you become, in every way. Stop playing small, multiply yourself. How many people can your work serve? Wealth file number 5. Rich people focus on opportunities. Poor people focus on obstacles. When presented with the same situation, a poor person sees risk, potential failure, and reasons why it won't work. A rich person sees potential reward, growth, and ways to make it work. This is not about being naive or reckless. It's about where you direct your attention. What you focus on expands. If you focus on obstacles, you will find obstacles everywhere. If you focus on opportunities, you will find opportunities everywhere. Rich people take calculated risks and find a way to make things work. Wealth file number 6. Rich people admire other rich and successful people. Poor people resent rich and successful people. Poor people often look at the wealthy with envy, resentment, or judgment. Rich people are greedy. They got lucky, they exploited others. If I had their money, I could do that too. This attitude ensures you will never become rich because you cannot become what you hate. Rich people celebrate other people's success as proof that success is possible for them too. They study the wealthy, learn from them, and model their habits. Your income is the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, so choose carefully. Wealth file number 7. Rich people associate with positive, successful people. Poor people associate with negative or unsuccessful people. Poor people find comfort in complaining and blaming with others who do the same. It feels good to have company in misery, but it keeps you stuck. Rich people seek out others who are more successful, who challenge them, who push them to grow. If you are the richest person in your circle, you are in the wrong circle. Upgrade your associations. Wealth file number 8. Rich people are willing to promote themselves and their value. Poor people think negatively about selling and promotion. Many people have an irrational fear of selling. They see it as begging, manipulation, or desperation. But the reality is that selling is simply transferring your belief in your product or service to another person. If you truly believe that what you offer adds value to people's lives, it is your duty to promote it widely. Poor people hide their light. Rich people share it generously. The richest people in the world are the best at selling, because they believe in what they do. Wealth file number 9. Rich people are bigger than their problems. Poor people are smaller than their problems. Poor people shrink from challenges. They see problems as permanent, personal, and pervasive. Rich people see problems as temporary opportunities to grow and learn. The size of your life is determined by the size of the problems you are willing to handle. If you want a bigger life, you must be willing to handle bigger problems. Stop avoiding difficulties. They are the tuition you pay for success. Wealth file number 10. Rich people are excellent receivers. Poor people are poor receivers. Many people have deep discomfort with receiving. They feel guilty when someone gives them a gift. They deflect compliments. They hesitate to ask for what they deserve. They feel that they don't deserve abundance. This comes from a subconscious belief that they are not worthy. But the universe operates on a principle of flow. If you cannot receive, you block the flow of abundance. Practice receiving graciously. Let people give to you. Say, thank you, without explaining why you don't deserve it. The more you receive, the more you have to give. Wealth file number 11. Rich people choose to get paid based on results. Poor people choose to get paid based on time. Trading time for money is the most limiting income model on the planet because you only have 24 hours in a day. There is a ceiling on what you can earn by the hour. Rich people prefer to be paid based on results, commissions, percentages, profits, royalties. This model has no ceiling. If you are currently paid by the hour, start building a side income stream that is not tied to your time. Learn to negotiate performance-based compensation. Own a piece of the action. Wealth file number 12. Rich people think both. Poor people think either or. Poor people see limited options. Either I can have a career or I can have a family. Either I can make money or I can be happy. Either I can focus on my business or I can have free time. Rich people reject this false dichotomy. They ask, how can I have both? Rich people believe that abundance is unlimited. You can have a successful career and a happy family. You can make money and be fulfilled. You can grow your business and have freedom. Train your mind to seek both. Wealth file number 13. Rich people focus on their net worth. Poor people focus on their working income. Poor people obsess over their salary or hourly wage. But income alone is a poor measure of wealth. Net worth, the total value of everything you own minus what you owe, is the true measure. Rich people build net worth through 4 pillars: income, savings, investing, and simplification, reducing living expenses. They track their net worth monthly and watch it grow. Poor people only care about their paycheck and ignore everything else. Wealth file number 14. Rich people manage their money well. Poor people mismanage their money well. Many people say, "I don't have enough money to manage." But managing money is not about how much you have, it's about habits. You can manage $10 just as effectively as $10,000. The habit of managing money is what attracts more money. Poor people avoid looking at their finances, they don't budget, they don't save, they don't invest. Then they wonder why they never have money. Rich people have a system. They pay themselves first, they allocate percentages to different accounts: tithing, savings, investing, education, play, and they consistently review their progress. You cannot attract wealth to a messy container. Clean up your money management starting today. Wealth file number 15. Rich people have their money work hard for them. Poor people work hard for their money. Poor people believe that they are the only one who can earn money. They work harder and harder, but never build assets that generate passive income. Rich people build a team of financial soldiers. They invest in stocks, real estate, businesses, and other income-producing assets that work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whether they are sleeping, traveling, or relaxing. The goal is to replace your active labor with passive capital. Every dollar you save and invest is an employee working for you. Hire as many as you can. Wealth file number 16. Rich people act in spite of fear. Poor people let fear stop them. Fear is a natural human response to the unknown. But the difference between the rich and the poor is not that rich people are never afraid, it's that they act anyway. Poor people wait until they feel no fear before they take action, which means they never take action, because the fear never fully disappears. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is acting in the presence of fear. Rich people feel the fear, acknowledge it, and then step forward anyway. They understand that discomfort is the sign of growth. If you are not scared, you are not pushing your limits. Wealth file number 17. Rich people constantly learn and grow. Poor people think they already know. The most dangerous phrase in the English language is, "I know." Poor people close themselves off to new ideas, new strategies, and new perspectives. They believe that their current knowledge is sufficient, which is exactly why they stay where they are. Rich people are lifelong learners. They read books, attend seminars, hire coaches, listen to podcasts, and seek mentors. Eker says that if you are not yet wealthy, it is simply because you have not learned the specific skills and mindsets that produce wealth. The good news is that you can learn them, but you must first admit that you don't already know. Stay curious. Stay humble. Keep growing. After presenting the 17 wealth files, Eker emphasizes that reading or listening to them is not enough. You must take action. Each wealth file includes a specific declaration, a positive affirmation that you repeat daily to reprogram your subconscious. For example, "I create my life." "I am the architect of my financial destiny." Or, "I am an excellent receiver." "I receive money joyfully and gratefully." Or, "I act in spite of fear." "I take action even when I am afraid." Eker recommends saying these declarations out loud, every day, with feeling and conviction, for at least 30 days. Repetition is what rewires the neural pathways in your brain. Beyond the declarations, Eker provides a set of concrete action steps that you must implement immediately. First, calculate your net worth today. Write it down. Then recalculate it every 30 days. What gets measured gets improved. Second, open a financial freedom account at a separate bank and put 10% of every dollar you earn into it. Never touch this money except for passive income investments. This is not savings for a car or a vacation. This is your freedom fund. Third, create a play account with another 10% of your income and spend it on something that makes you feel abundant: a massage, a nice dinner, a weekend trip. Why? Because most people struggle with receiving. This trains you to receive joyfully. Fourth, pay yourself first before any other bills. Fifth, dedicate 1 hour per week to financial education. Read a book, listen to a podcast, attend a webinar. Eker also warns against the four most common excuses people use to avoid taking action. I'm too busy, I'm too tired, I'll do it when I have more money, and it won't work for me. Each of these excuses is a lie designed to keep you safe and stuck. Recognize them, and act anyway. The ultimate message of Secrets of the Millionaire Mind is simple but profound. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. If you want to change your financial reality, you must first change your financial blueprint. The 17 wealth files give you a roadmap for exactly what to think and how to act. But no book can change your life unless you apply what you learn. Eker closes with a powerful challenge. You are exactly one thought away from changing everything. That one thought is the decision to stop being a victim of your past programming and to start being the creator of your future. Wealth is not something you chase, it is something you become. And becoming wealthy starts with thinking like a millionaire, speaking like a millionaire, and acting like a millionaire, even before you have the money to prove it. So here is your action plan for the next 30 days. First, write down every limiting belief you heard about money growing up. Second, for each limiting belief, write its opposite, an empowering belief. Third, read your declarations out loud every morning and every night. Fourth, take one small action toward building your net worth today. Open that financial freedom account, buy that book, schedule that meeting. Fifth, find a mentor or a mastermind group of people who are more successful than you and learn from them. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is not filled with talent, luck, or education. It is filled with the 17 wealth files. Install them into your operating system. Practice them daily, and watch as your financial reality transforms to match your new internal blueprint. Your millionaire mind is waiting. The only question is, are you ready to claim it?